Welcome to IQD Dinar News, your go-to source for the latest updates on currency exchange rates, revaluation news, and insights into the Iraqi dinar. Stay informed and ahead of the curve with our timely analysis and breaking developments. Article 140 of the Iraqi Constitution is one of the most contested provisions, largely because it deals with the issue of disputed territories. These territories, including Kirkuk and parts of Nineveh, Diyala, and Salahuddin provinces, have long been areas of ethnic tension. Kurds, Arabs, and Turkmen, among others, have claimed these lands, and the demographics of these regions have been dramatically altered through successive waves of displacement, especially under the Ba'athist regime of Saddam Hussein. Article 140 mandates a process of normalization, a census, and a referendum to determine the future of these disputed areas, particularly whether they would become part of the semi-autonomous Kurdish region or remain under the control of the central government in Baghdad. The KDP mortgage likely refers to a particular strategy or policy undertaken by the Kurdish Democratic Party, which is one of the main political forces in the Kurdistan region of Iraq. The KDP, led by the Barzani family, has long been a dominant player in Kurdish politics and has a vested interest in the successful implementation of Article 140, as this would strengthen Kurdish claims over the disputed territories. By securing a strong Kurdish presence in these regions, the KDP aims to ensure that a potential referendum on the future of these areas results in their incorporation into the Kurdistan Regional Government, KRG. The term mortgage in this context could symbolize a political or financial investment or leverage that the KDP is utilizing to secure its objectives. This could mean the KDP is facilitating housing or land ownership opportunities for displaced Kurds to ensure they return to their original homes in the disputed territories. Such a strategy would make sense in the broader framework of ensuring that Kurds make up a significant portion of the population in these areas when a census is conducted. By increasing the number of Kurds living in these disputed territories, the KDP would be in a stronger position to argue for their incorporation into the KRG. The idea of returning displaced Kurds is central to the implementation of Article 140. Under Saddam Hussein's regime, many Kurds were forcibly removed from these territories, and Arabs were encouraged to settle there in what was known as the Arabization policy. This created a significant demographic shift, which the post-2003 Iraqi government and the KRG have been trying to reverse. The return of displaced Kurds would help restore the historical demographic balance and enable the Kurdish leadership to make a stronger case for the incorporation of these areas into the KRG. To this end, a census is a critical part of the process. The census is intended to determine the population breakdown in the disputed territories, which is essential for the referendum that would follow. Without a reliable and accurate census, the referendum could be subject to dispute, with different ethnic groups contesting the results. The KDP's focus on ensuring that displaced Kurds return to these areas before the census is conducted is thus crucial. By doing so, they aim to ensure that Kurds form a significant portion of the population in these territories, which would increase the likelihood of the referendum resulting in these areas becoming part of the KRG. This entire process is fraught with challenges. First and foremost, there is significant opposition from various groups, including the central government in Baghdad and local Arab and Turkmen populations. These groups have their own historical ties to the disputed territories and are unlikely to support a process that could result in these areas being transferred to Kurdish control. The implementation of Article 140 has been delayed for many years, and there is still no consensus on how it should be carried out. The return of displaced Kurds is a particularly contentious issue, as it involves reversing decades of demographic changes that were often violent and coercive. In addition to the political challenges, there are logistical and security issues that complicate the return of displaced Kurds. Many of the disputed territories have been affected by conflict in recent years, particularly during the fight against ISIS. The destruction of homes and infrastructure, as well as ongoing security concerns, make it difficult for displaced Kurds to return to these areas. The Kdp'S' efforts to facilitate their return, possibly through housing or financial incentives, which could be what the term mortgage refers to, are thus crucial in overcoming these obstacles. Furthermore, the broader geopolitical context cannot be ignored. The Kurdish question in Iraq is not just a domestic issue, it has regional implications, particularly for neighboring countries like Turkey, Iran, and Syria, which have significant Kurdish populations of their own. Any move toward greater Kurdish autonomy in Iraq, or the incorporation of disputed territories into the KRG, is likely to be viewed with concern by these countries, particularly Turkey, which has long been opposed to Kurdish independence or even significant autonomy in Iraq, fearing that it could inspire similar movements among its own Kurdish population. Thus, the Kdp'S push to implement Article 140 and secure these territories is likely to face opposition not just from within Iraq but also from its neighbors. At the same time, the role of international actors, particularly the United States and other Western powers, is also important. The US has historically been supportive of the Kurds, particularly during the fight against ISIS, but it also has a strong interest in maintaining a unified and stable Iraq. The US and its allies are likely to play a key role in mediating between the KRG and the central government in Baghdad to ensure that the implementation of Article 140 does not lead to renewed conflict. In conclusion, the phrase Kdp mortgage census to apply Article 140 to return displaced Kurds encapsulates a complex and multifaceted political process that has deep historical roots and far-reaching implications. The Kdp'S' efforts to secure return of displaced Kurds to the disputed territories and ensure that a census is conducted as part of the implementation of Article 140 are central to its broader strategy of securing these areas for the Kurdistan Regional Government. However, this process faces significant challenges, both from within Iraq and from the broader regional and international context. The outcome of this process will have a profound impact on the future of Iraq and the Kurdistan region, as well as on the broader Kurdish question in the Middle East. The Kdp'S' actions in this regard are thus likely to be closely watched by all stakeholders, both within Iraq and beyond. Thanks for tuning in to IQD Dinar News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more updates on the Iraqi dinar and global currency trends, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.